exactly.
Kirby, I'm not going to take your money. I don't have to give the speech that you wrote. Because people, rather than trashing you like you thought they were going to, people told good stories about you. I don't know what got into them.
We were paid. We were paid.
So I don't feel right about taking your money and giving the speech telling you what a good guy you are. So we'll scrap that. I'm going to go to plan B and we'll just, tell the story the way it really is.
You're kind of a scientist to get the real story.
If I can get rid of this. There we go.
Dick was the AV guy in high school.
He was the geek that did the 16 millimeter.
No, not true. Dick was the smartest guy in the class.
Yeah.
One of the prevailing stories, outside of digging us out of post-holing, is that you flew into a resupply at some point and got everybody drunk and then flew out and tipped the wings, and Dick was launching rocks as you tipped your wings. You were just throwing rocks at his plane.
I wouldn't have called it a resupply.
Kirby through the...
So is that an in vitro image or?
That's in Kirby's fallopian tube. Oh, wait a minute.
Nice.
Maybe well, they have a fallopian tube.
Oh, you went to get... Oh, no. You really did it, didn't you? That was a good one.
I've titled this Kirby Through the Mist of Time. Because there's lots of layers.
Oh, Lordy.
Do you have a good view here?
Yeah.
And I first met Kirby.
I guess we need to stop for an alcohol refill.
Re-up everybody right now.
Oh, shit, Andy. Getting the whiskey.
Here we go.
Whoa, baby, that's a big spill.
That's a lot of whiskey.
Hey, Jack, what year did you meet Kirby?
Well, I was just starting to say that.
Sorry, I got shut up.
Just a slash. That's great. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, so if I can have everyone's attention,
right.
Oh, yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Shut up back there, in other words.
I'm with you.
Crazy.
On the room, Dick, on the room.
I first met Kirby when I really met Kirby, it was 1974. I was absolutely fresh out of school, a week out of school. I was hired by this company, sent out to a field crew. I was full of knowledge, useless, but I had absolutely no experience. So I knew they were going to do right by me. They were going to send me to a crew that could really teach me what I needed to know about geophysics, and there'd be a mentor there to teach me, how to be a good crew chief, how
What
to
a
be
pipe dream that was,
leader
huh?
of men.
And then you met Kirby.
And then I showed up at the crew.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, wait, hey, Jack, who is it?
Dick is the blonde hippie right next to him on the right.
Who are those guys?
I'm thinking my face.
Is that you on the left there?
It's been a while.
On the left, eating.
Oh my
For
God.
those who don't believe it, this is Kirby.
And Dick, which one are you?
And
You drinking that Lone Star beer?
now,
Oh, you're
Suzy,
so hot. You are on. Wow,
Suzy took a
baby.
look at that picture and she says, "Dick, you're so innocent, and look how you're looking at Kirby with wonder and amazement."
We did stay at the YMCA cabin together.
But in actuality,
So great.
There's Blake Gillis on the right.
I'm looking at Kirby and I'm going, "This is my mentor? You gotta be kidding me."
And you know what? Biggest, you still got the hair, Kirby does.
But Kirby had lots of skills to share, with being a field crew chief. And he also, he reinvented himself so many times that the patent office refused to issue any more patents for his reinventions. So that is it. But
That is absolutely
one of his
true.
previous lives was
Oh
a race
my
car
God.
driver,
Yeah,
and he
absolutely
could
true.
use that to his full advantage on field crews.
Oh my God, that's a good photo.
So
Oh.
here we see
Phyllis!
Kirby
Phyllis!
driving.
Phyllis is the
And the motor generator has
Land
decided that
The
it
Land
wants to
Cruiser,
race
the Toyota,
Kirby to the
right?
bottom
Oh,
of the hill.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
good.
Dick,
Yeah.
where is that? Nevada?
Cuba, New Mexico.
New Mexico?
Cuba.
Cuba, New Mexico.
The generator got signed.
So what's
So-
the peak behind it?
That one I don't
That was
remember.
Twin Sisters. I meant that.
Yeah, I don't know. But Kirby did race it to the bottom of the hill, but he was unable to get up
You guys
the
love
next
Toyota
hill,
Land Cruiser.
and his friend Hank Van Ness
Oh,
dragged his
oh
ass
my
up
God.
to the top of the hill so he could finish working for the day. Because Kirby was such a good race car driver, he says, he said, I'm a really good car mechanic too, that whenever we had a problem, you could always count on Kirby to crawl underneath the car and try and fix it.
I'm
We
gonna
were
go-
never
I remember
sure-
those boots.
Cool boots. Cool boots. Very fashionable.
We were
My
never
Cuero,
sure
you
when
were,
Kirby
dude.
got underneath the car, was he sleeping, was he fixing the car, or was he making it worse? So there were only 3 outcomes, and we just sat back waiting to see.
Yeah, you guys remember the oil cans where you stick that,
Yeah.
like you got right there
You
on
gotta
the
punch
wheel?
it in.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
You
that's
gotta
so,
have the thing to punch it in, or you couldn't use it.
that was so old school.
But
Yeah.
I have to say, Kirby he was a leader among men, and he knew how to really get the most out of a field crew. And I learned a lot about managing people through his people skills.
Really good.
Oh yeah.
No shit on that. Who was?
Come on.
Oh my god.
Now,
Well, we're
Connor
30-30.
Gunn.
Oh my God.
All right, so is Kirby overseeing the crew with that 30-30? What's going
Yeah.
on here, Dick?
you can see the chains around their ankles.
Oh my god.
The guy knew how to get them to work. They worked hard.
Jeremy, that's crazy.
That was a great
Oh,
picture.
jeez.
Yeah, Kirby.
The
Yeah.
bell bottoms, yeah.
But But one thing we also learned about Kirby was that, we admired that as a leader, he would never ask us to do something he wouldn't do himself. However, the corollary was not the same. That you would never, well, most of the time, you wouldn't do what Kirby would do. You would sit back, as Andy was saying, you'd go, no, I ain't doing that. Kirby, you go ahead and do it. I'm not doing it.
Dick, what are you wearing in that photo, man? That's weird.
You weren't nothing.
But this was just another one of Kirby's ways of coercing people into working and getting the most out of them. Throw them over the cliff.
You know what, Dick?
That looks
With a
really
mustache,
volcanic.
you look exactly the same now as you did then.
That's,
Andy, I like your glasses.
I
Keep 'em
know.
on.
where was that picture taken?
Hawaii.
Yeah, that's so lava.
Yeah.
Right here. Yeah.
Magma.
But Kirby also did work. I had to go through the archives. I could only find 4 photos.
Yeah.
Oh, those are
Legend is
great
effort.
pictures.
But you can see where he was humping heavy equipment through the field, and when he would get to his station, he would casually lay himself out like the king and take his readings, and it might take him a couple hours, but eventually, yeah, okay, yeah, let's go. And whenever it got hot, you could count on Kirby to go into the shade of the truck and be the transmitter operator.
Is that Kirby? Is that
Yeah.
Kirby there?
Yeah, that's Kirby.
Holy
believe it or
Lower
not.
right is Kirby?
Yeah. And you could always be counted on to go and talk to the drillers, whoever else was
That's
around
what
there. I'm not sure that really
It's
counts
not
as
left
work,
yet.
but he was always good for doing that.
Kirby and the cowboy hat is.
Oh my
typical of that era.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I don't ever remember
Come
you
on.
wearing truckers
There we
hats
go.
and no beard. No.
So I did dig out a few
Jealous.
more photos of Kirby working. So here he is thinking about the day. Okay, what are we gonna do today? Uh-huh. And then here he is just being a poster boy for the Geothermal Resources Council.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see
Wendell-
shit that
Wendell
photo.
Hudson.
Yeah, you can see him in
Yeah, there he is.
there. He's right there, that silhouette.
Here Kirby is stretching before a strenuous day.
He's farting on somebody. What do you mean?
Oh,
And then
God.
the ultimate Kirby waiting, I don't know how many days till it rained, so he wouldn't have to pour water on the electric. Pathetic.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
So
Dick, you came up with
this is
That's
Geonomics
neat.
was the first company we were in together. And Kirby eventually grew bigger than Geonomics, and he needed to move on, and he did. And it wasn't too long after that I moved on. Danny had moved on, and so Jim and Kirby put together another company, Electrodyne Survey.
Yay, Electrodyne!
Whoa.
And so Kirby thought, hey, I can put the band back together.
My stomach's starting to hurt.
always the
Are you
band.
gonna fart?
So he canvassed everybody he knew from the company that had quit, because a lot
So I got
of
3
people
guys.
quit. And Denny and I thought were the only 2 that were stupid enough
That's
to really join up. That Andy was too smart for it. Missy had a bigger vision of the world than us, and
I
so
worked for Electron. I did.
I know, but not at the start. You
No.
were smart enough to go.
No.
"Nah."
I don't want to do that, Kirby.
I
You
worked.
did.
I don't think you
I
should
worked
do that,
for.
Kirby.
I worked
Lower
for
right,
summer,
who is that? Is
and
that
then I
Andy
was out
Smith?
there. I was out there with that guy. I can't remember his
That's
name.
Carmi.
Who told me? Oh yeah, Carmi. Yeah, Carmi.
But we started out in an apartment, which was, command central, data
all lived
processing,
there.
hair cutting, when Kirby would get the hairdresser to come in and cut our hair.
When they had hair.
Back in those days. And then we eventually got into a real office here and here with Carmi DeCiano. We had a secretary. It was incredible.
Secretary.
She's
Yeah.
pretty.
That lasted
What happened to Carmi?
That's a
about
retro
year,
term, right?
maybe.
What happened to Carmi?
And then we ended up in the basement of my unfinished house that I was renting. So we were down there in the dark dirt, working there, and then eventually we moved down to Houston, which of course is where Terry comes into the story. And that was a complete disaster. But there was
In every way,
one
shape,
good
and
thing
form.
that came out of it.
They still regret it to this day.
I still have that sign.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
go back.
Now I'm in
Shut up,
trouble.
Cupid.
Uh-oh.
Now I'm in trouble.
Gotta go back.
And
Oh,
this is
that's a classic Kirby
Oh my
picture.
God, look at that leisure
There
suit.
it is.
You've got these photos.
This looks like
I know.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so impressed, Dick.
Okay, there we go.
Ah! Oh my god.
So the one good thing that came out of it was Rhonda and the kids. And I want you to look at this child right there.
Oh my gosh.
Is that Savannah?
Yeah.
That is Savannah. I want you to look at the size of her hair. She's like Popeye the Sailor.
No, do you know how many pictures of Rhonda exist where she is literally in the middle of saying, "Don't take my picture." Like that's what mom is saying. She goes, "Jump." She's
So
in the
is
middle
that-
of going, "Jump."
Aaron.
And so that's
That's
Aaron.
Aaron too.
That's Aaron.
That's
Yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah.
in front, yeah.
Whoa,
Wait.
that's so sweet.
This is before Tyson
I used
could
to
be in
babysit
photos.
her.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Aaron and I would
Yeah,
probably
really.
prefer it that way.
That's the
so-
one.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Oh my God, those glasses are so
Shit.
80s, aren't
Yeah,
they?
I do.
Oh, that's
But
a
occasionally-
great picture. Oh my goodness.
Which one?
So the
Upper
rock-
left.
No, so there's, yeah,
Nick Rock.
that way.
Kirby
Look at
would,
you guys.
Corn Island.
Kirby would occasionally, he would send us to terrible places to go work,
Corn Island.
you know, and he would breeze in for a day to check out,
No.
oh yeah, you
Melissa,
guys
I
are
think
doing
Melissa
great, and, you know, and have a few drinks and then fly out again. One time he showed up, he wasn't watching the news,
I've had this
and
before.
Captain Zero was exploding bombs around Managua, and the revolution was starting. And so everybody and his brother tried to get out of the country, and so Kirby was trapped like
Oh
wrecked
my
with the
god.
rest of us.
That's like,
And we couldn't get anywhere. So we had to go and go to Corn Island, which was the only flight we could get onto. And Corn Island was part of Nicaragua at the
Yeah.
time.
I remember the call at Christmas. Because Mom and
Yeah,
Dad were
and
waiting.
then-
We hadn't heard anything. You guys were out of touch.
so upper
And on Christmas Day, you were able to call and say,
Dan
we're fine. We're
Kirb? Upper left is Kirb and I.
Oh,
I'm on the
that's Kirby Denny,
I'm on the
upper left.
Yeah, this is them on the plane flying.
That's
Lanico
you on the left.
or
Denny with the
That's you on
barf
the
bag.
That's me on the
Yeah.
left, yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
that's-
an agent, I'm sure, following us.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm impressed, Dick, that you have these
Marty
pictures.
Friday
You
and
did.
everything.
I am
Lower
so.
left.
I
more
told you to
important
roast
than
him.
God.
You are.
Look at this expression on his
It's
face.
so hard to get.
This was the
pictures from
only
those
good
days.
thing that came out of it was that we said, ha, Kirby is trapped here with us for 4 days.
Yeah.
You know who that
This
face
is like
looks
day
like?
3.
That's an upset Gavin.
Oh.
Like, he's.
And one story I didn't tell, which was related to the Reno, is that there were times when we didn't get any money in. And we stopped paying ourselves,
Yeah.
and when you don't get paid,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
supplies run low. So we were working in the basement. We come up for dinner, open up the cabinets, and there's a can of peas and a can of corn.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
And so we said, okay, how much money do we have? Between the
That's
three of
just
us, we
terrible.
had
That's
$5.
so-
So
No.
I'm Mr. Practical. I say, all right, let's go to the store. With $5, we can get enough food for the 3 of us. And Kirby says, no, let's go gambling.
Let's go to the casino. Yes. Let's go and double our money.
Oh, double. Oh, come on. He said,
We're gonna be rich.
we're gonna parlay this $5 into a big steak dinner.
We're
for
all
everybody.
eating big tonight.
Or
As I said earlier,
Peas and hot
I'm
dogs.
not sure. I'm not sure I do that.
And the sad part is we went there and Kirby was winning. He was doing it. And we're going, yeah, Kirby, go, go. He got up to 20. He got up to 25. It was 30. And I said, okay, Kirby, let's go. Let's go. And Kirby says, no, I can do it.
Oh my God.
And what happened then?
We walked out of there with no money.
Good
Denny's
talk,
having like post-traumatic stress.
We ate hot dogs and peas. And you would think that with 3 of us and 2 of us would have enough sense. But no.
I told them to toast/roast, and they have clearly interpreted that as a little bit of a more roast. But apparently, you deserve a little bit of this.
True story.
And really, that is the essence of
Of course
Kirby's
you do.
personality. He is
But
Mr.
It
Optimism.
didn't always work.
but when it does,
It totally does.
when it
When it
does.
doesn't.
But Kirby also, his love of flying, he always tried to interweave flying into whatever job he was doing. And he was pretty good at doing that. And his ultimate was to work in this company, an airborne geophysical survey company in Utah with the worst name in the world, SOAR X.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a bad.
Really bad name. It couldn't possibly succeed, but it did bring Kirby to some of the exciting places through Nevada. Railroad
Great
Valley.
photo.
So, hey, Dick, is that Kirby upper left? With the
Upper
Regency
left,
on?
yeah.
This is Kirby acting, he's like, yeah, I'm filling gasoline in the airplane.
I flew that Super Cub. Me and another guy took turns. and Dick ran the base station on the ground, and we were doing aero mag 30 feet off the ground in Railroad Valley, Nevada, landing on a highway, taxiing to the gas pump at the motel, and fueling up there.
Oh, God, that's cool.
That's
I tell you, we saw all the exciting places.
Oh
my God,
goodness.
cute.
But Kirby was able, I mean, he worked hard, but he was able to find some time to be able to get some enjoyment and out in the outdoors with
Anita.
friends.
I
So,
love
No, that's,
There he is.
yeah, that's too
That's
early for
Brian,
Anita.
isn't it?
That's not Anita.
That
well,
looks like
there's Kirby skiing, Alta. Here he is sailing with, well,
I
Denny
can't
at this
believe
point.
you have all these
Oh,
And
sure.
with Carol, there's Carol going,
no, you're,
oh
you're
my
right.
God,
That
what
is
am I
so
doing?
right.
Only when you were
Okay.
steering.
Hey,
Remember,
That's
like
good.
that,
Upper
we're gonna
right,
try.
go upper right.
Upper right, is that Anita?
Anita.
That's
No,
Anita.
you're right. You were right. I'm wrong.
that
yeah,
is Anita.
no,
They
it's-
came
yeah.
up over,
that top one looks
they
like
Look
came
at
up to visit
Cassidy.
us,
Yeah.
and then
That looks like
9/11
you.
happened, and,
Oh my
And
God.
they
and
stayed.
another version of Kirby's optimism. 9/11 happens, they can't fly out
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah.
So what does he do? He goes and he rents a convertible, and he and Anita just drive around Vancouver Island until things get cleared up.
So,
Wait,
Richard, who's
okay,
that
I'll go
13-year-old
left.
girl you're hanging out with there?
No, you're.
That's Cass.
On the left
Cassie?
over here,
Yeah,
that's Kirb in the
Skiing.
skiing
yeah.
with
Bill Petrick.
Really?
So Kirby,
Oh my
Before he
Kirby
fired
from here
him.
looks like Andy.
Yeah, I can
It's
see
Tom
it.
Meyer in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is
Yeah,
Tom
it's the
Meyer.
room with
Now,
Tom.
I want you to look
Oh,
at those two smiles.
oh my
Now, I
God.
used to say that Kirby, I would practice to get his smile, and I needed to put a coat hanger in my mouth to try, and I just never got it big enough. But, I mean, I'm convinced that he helped surgically improve on Kirby's
Look
smile.
at you on the
Because he was a
Yeah,
dentist.
that was at Cherry Creek Reservoir.
Friend of
That's-
Kirby's.
I had Tom Meyer.
He took
You
out my
and you
molars
two, Tyson and I there in
for
Nevada.
really cheap.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Tyson and I met him.
That
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that. We met his
Dinner at
kids.
his house.
Now,
Oh, the
what
infamous
we
raft.
were also convinced of was that Kirby,
Oh, God,
he
this
was
is
a
the Truckee
popcorn maker of ideas. I mean, just pop, 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 pop. So most of the time, you didn't know if Kirby was going or coming. And thanks to Missy, we're able to demonstrate that radically on the Truckee River, which is the story that we're talking about.
There
Oh,
it
my
is.
goodness.
Photographic proof. He can deny it, but it's right there. Oh my gosh, Dick, what a treasure trove.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there it is.
Look at that.
The Mills boys.
Well, I called this one Electro Dummy.
Oh my
But I have
God.
to say, I've known Kirby, well, for most of my life, which is shocking in a lot of ways. But out of all the people I've known, Kirby, he's bigger than life, big personality, and you don't always agree with Kirby, but you always know he's got your back, and if anything happens, he'll be there to help you out. And when the going gets tough, Kirby will not leave. He'll
You
be
are
right
so
there.
right.
He'll be
on that.
right there coming up with another idea that you're gonna say, no, that ain't gonna work.
I don't think we should do that.
You're here, Dick.
Good to see you, Dick.
Nailed it.
That was fantastic.
I just want
Love
to
it.
say that here I am in this group. I wouldn't know any of you people without having met Kirby, including Suzy, because I would have been successful and I would never. I would never have up in
We held it back for 10 years.
So I thank you, Kirby. I would much rather trade Suzy for any treasure. So that means all of you here, I know, as a result of Kirby. And you measure a person by
Yeah.
the, you know, the company he keeps, and he keeps really good company.
Well done, Dick. Well done.